Hello, everybody, and welcome back to CADS. And for once, we have good things to talk about. We have a win against Eintracht Frankfurt. Yes, that's right. We actually managed to put goals into the net and concede fewer than the opposition. I mean, that's fantastic. We love that kind of thing. And then we decided that, winning was blasé. So we'll throw that out the window, and we managed to get a 2-2 draw against Manchester City. To be honest, though, it looked like we were going to get beat 5-0 at one point. I thought we were going to get absolutely hammered. So, overall, you have to say that's a positive week, which is something nice for us to be talking about here at CADS HQ. And I am joined by my usual group of lovely gentlemen, starting with Austin. Hey, Austin, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you very much indeed. I was a lot better at full time than I was at half time yesterday, but I'm good
Join the
today,
club.
thank you.
Excellent. Austin is with us tonight, despite many, many attempts by the ladies to get him out on the town tonight. So he's with us, and he's giving us the entertainment we all deserve. Ash, how you doing, Ash?
All right, mate. I'm with Oz. I was about to leave at halftime, and like I'm sure a lot of the fans at the match actually did, because I thought a hiding was we were on for a hiding. But I'm glad I stuck in. I was getting myself to leave. I went, oh, we've changed a few things. Hey, what was up with John Gerber saying that he had a big row, that Cootie had a big row with Frank? Was he just joshing, or what was that?
I think it was speculation, but we'll get on to speculation later. We'll get on to speculation, we'll get on to gossip, and we'll get on to transfers. That's transfers with a very small t, everybody, because virtually nothing has happened. Hey, how are you doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm good. Better than 2 weeks ago. But
Hard not to be.
mad bonkers club that we follow. So yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And finally, Marcel. How you doing, Marcel?
Yeah, fine. A bit more upbeat, maybe, but more confused. Jekyll and Hyde is nothing on Tottenham Hotspur, is it? I mean, how we can just turn it around within 90 minutes. I'm confused. Leave it at that.
I am a little perplexed myself. I mean, let's talk about the Frankfurt game. Reasonable, I thought. I thought it was okay. I didn't think as though we were pushed too hard by the opposition. We got to kind of play within ourselves, and we scored a couple of goals. It was kind of that easy. I didn't really think it was a good performance at any point. I mean, there was some kind of bright shining lights. Xavi Simons once again is actually starting to turn in some consistently good performances, and I am sure we'll be talking about him when we talk about Man City later. But that's the player I've been talking about since the start of the summer when I wanted us to sign him, and luckily we did. And he's been slow to come out of his shell, I feel, but now he's starting to look like an actual force. Anybody else got any thoughts for the Eintracht Frankfurt game?
I think just my comment is about Xavi Simons.
Go on
If
then.
you compare him with Modric, he's coming out of his shell as quickly as Modric did. Modric took ages before he really settled in and started commanding the stage.
Yeah, very true. And also, the other high-profile signing from the Bundesliga was Florian Wirtz, and he's only just starting to come good for Liverpool as well. So, maybe there's something about giving players coming from foreign leagues a little bit of time to adapt and acclimatise. So,
yeah,
go on, Ash, go for it.
Yeah, gotta say, what we've got 11 outfield players the last couple of games. So I was really impressed that we were able to pull that off. Very professional against Frankfurt. One guy who kind of has been standing out for me recently, just by his effort. And in fact, wasn't there a stat that he had the most passes out of forward passes, 54 passes, Palhinha? We were all seeing how not very good he and Bentancur were together. Now Bentancur is gone, and Palhinha is turning up in the back three and the back four, and putting in a really sterling effort. I thought he was actually one of the unsung heroes of yesterday's game, but also in the Frankfurt game, he was a back three. He was on the right of a back three. So I just wanted to give him his plaudits for. I just like his attitude and his passion maybe not the most skillful guy, but he certainly helped us when we've only got 11 fit outfield players.
You certainly can't diss his attitude. His attitude is absolutely spot on. He throws himself into everything. Sometimes you think he might get one of those wrong one day and end up, sent off, probably quite rightly, but, he throws himself in with everything. Hey, what you got to say? Hey, there you go.
Yeah, now I'm there. I think like every game we've seen some improvement in some areas. It's just like they can't seem to put it all together for extended period. So there are like some grass shoots that you can see that's looking better patterns of play, using certain plays better. Palhinha struggles to pass the ball forward and turning in the midfield. He looks better with the game in front of him at the back. Simmons is taking up better positions. And I think all in all, there's a little bit of uptick, but the squad really needed some help. They didn't get it. So, yeah, I wonder if that's because, as you said, Frank might not be here in the summer. Why spend for particular players for somebody who might not be here? So maybe it's that. But all in all, professional performance against Frankfurt. And there were lots of little bright sparks. I thought we had an extra gear in us, and we were very comfortable. So maybe that's it for me for Frankfurt. Really good, easy game that we needed. And if it was a really rough, tough game, that could have been a problem in the coming weeks. So yeah, I think all in all, professional, good performance in the next round.
Yeah, I think they could have put a little bit more into it to give us more of a challenge. But I mean, at the end of the day, it was exactly what we needed to go through. We did it. We got it. We went through, and we're fourth in the table at the end. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Fourth in all of Europe. I mean, obviously, as the Europa League winners, you expect to be there, right? You expect to be up the top of the table, regardless of injuries and everything like that. It's a well-managed, well-run club, and no, I can't even do it to myself. I can't talk myself into that thing. One other player I thought did very, very well, and I was disappointed to see has now picked up an injury, was Kevin Danso. I thought Kevin Danso played very well against Frankfurt. He had a few driving runs, which was very, very good. But apparently he stepped on someone's foot and somehow managed to snap a ligament doing so, which is, I believe, 6 to 8 weeks out, which is basically 2 months out. So when he comes back, we'll be near the end of the season, everybody. That'll be good, won't it? Perfect. He gets to miss all of those February fixtures, which don't look like any fun whatsoever. But let's talk about that first February fixture. We were horrific in the first half. We were absolutely awful. We had no idea going forward, no clue. Our defence was lump the ball forward as soon as you get it and generally lose it every single time. Stand off your man, don't get stuck in, and just afford them pot shots at goal. And there were 2 mistakes, as far as I'm concerned, from Dragoshin, and they both led to goals. So really, really tough, I thought. Really tough one. Marcel.
Yeah, the first one, though, it all started when Bissouma, for once, decided to go forwards.
Yeah.
Up to that point, every time he got the ball, all he did was knock it straight back to where he got it from. And I was screaming at it, saying, turn, go, there's acres of space behind you. But he didn't. And then the one time he decides to do that, he runs straight into a couple of players, loses the ball. Yeah, Dragusin should have done better, but it should never have been in that position in the first place. You could also say Bukario could have done better as well. He wasn't very well placed for the shot.
He wasn't brilliantly positioned. In terms of Bissouma losing it, it was very, very bad what he did. But also, no one was showing for the ball. No one. He turned, and there was no one for him to pass the ball to. That is training, that is coaching, that is, putting into the head of players where they're supposed to be when the ball's being played out of defence, and nobody seemed to have any idea of what they were going to be doing. It all seemed off the cuff.
It was the one occasion where he should have actually played it back to the guy who gave it to him.
Absolutely. But then, after going 2 goals down, Ash, you've got something to say? Go on for it. Go for it.
Yeah, just why, just generally, why are we so crappy in the first half of so many games, and then better perhaps in the second half? I'm just wondering if it's that the players are trying to play somewhat according to what Frank's instructions are or whatever. And then at halftime they go, fuck it, and we seem to be just take the shackles off the players themselves. I'm sure it's not Frank doing it. The players seem to take the shackles off and just in some ways, in some of the periods of times, 20 minutes, whatever, we look irresistible when we're attacking. When we're attacking, because we do have a lot of speed in our forward players. Why aren't we doing that? So anyway, that was my thing. Why are we so turgid in the first, like yesterday, turgid in the first half, and then the players going, forget about it. We're just going to play for ourselves. Could be.
Yeah, I was talking to my mate Mark after the match, and it was like, whatever he says at half time, is there potentially a chance of saying that before the match kicks off? Just because that might work. Just actually get people revved up and go out there and see what they can do. Hey, you got any thoughts?
Yeah, I think, guys, we've got a completely makeshift team, players that come back from ACL, playing on the left side, which is on the manager. He should not be playing on the left side. But other than that, they just 1 week's not enough against a quality team like that. And I think it showed. And maybe some of the changes at halftime did move people into better, more comfortable positions, and we saw that. Plus, there was no expectation; we're already behind. But so I think there's some mitigating stuff. But yeah, I think like it's harsh on Dragusin. I think it got better as he went. The second half, he was very good in a two. Yeah, he kept Haaland quiet, coming back, but it's going to take him time. That ACL is a nasty injury. Having done it by myself, you don't have confidence way after the operation is done and you've supposedly fully recovered.
So Dragusin, I thought the first goal was appalling. He didn't close him down. He didn't stick his foot out. He just left him to have a shot. And I thought the keeper was at fault as well, because he was badly positioned, and I still thought he should have got the ball.
Yeah, but you have to look on the other side. This was only his third game since suffering that cruciate ligament injury, and his first start in what, 8 months, 9 months since he did that injury. Was it Elfsborg last season he did it? I mean, that's he's had a rough time. He's been on a journey to get back to where he is, and a lot of people said he'll be better under a Thomas Frank defence. And I think maybe there's a chance that we'll see that. But, the beginning of yesterday's game was not the way to show it, I feel. But then something turned around and happened at halftime. And I could not explain what happened. I don't know what happened. Romero did not come out. Apparently he's suffering from sickness. There were talks that he'd somehow, self-combusted at halftime, talking to the players. Also talks he'd had a bit of a bust up with the manager. Who knows what the truth is? He's certainly come out tonight with most of it is a fairly normal statement, but there's a couple of words in there which point the finger towards potentially the board or the people above him who should be making signings. He basically said it was disgraceful that we only had 11 players fit for this match, which is not great. Here, of course, he wasn't fully fit. Neither was Wilson Odobert. They've both been suffering from some kind of illness in the days leading up to the match, and he only managed 45 minutes. And frankly, he was not great in that first half. And he's had a few games recently where he's looked slightly out of sorts, even if he's then gone up the other end and actually, saved us by scoring some goals. But genuinely, he was really bad yesterday. And I didn't think that, it was a major issue when he didn't come out. I mean, the issue was our captain's not on the pitch. It wasn't Romero, our fantastic defender, wasn't on the pitch. So when everybody came out, suddenly we've got a back four with Joao Palhinha and Radu Dragusin, again, first start in about a year. Wow. Actually holding up the centre of our defence. And they actually looked really good. They did very, very well. Not Dragusin, Palhinha, I think needs some praise here. I have not been particularly enthusiastic about him. I didn't really want us to sign him. His play in midfield is uninspiring a lot of the time, but he throws in some massive tackles and does a good job of bringing everybody up with him. And I think he set the tone yesterday for that second half. He and Archie Gray, because Archie Gray put his foot on the ball and stepped up and was like, okay, now I'm going to get hold of this match and make something happen. And he looked really good at times. And he certainly didn't let himself down.
Absolutely.
Anyone got any thoughts?
Well, I said that earlier, didn't I? About Palhinha. I've been impressed with his not playing in the midfield position. But he's also the type of guy, he's kind of like, remember with Dyer? You would say like Dyer would run through brick walls for Pochettino. And I think Palhinha for this team will run through brick walls. He'll play in any position you want him to. He's just an impassioned guy, not the most skillful. And I love him. And good point on Gray, by the way. Absolutely. I think actually somebody at the game, it was Alistair Gold was saying, I don't remember this. Maybe you guys do. Alistair Gold, speaking of Gray, apparently he made some move when he went dribbling up the field and then passed it to Xavi, and it didn't come to anything. But Gold was saying that the crowd actually got in the game after that because it just showed some intent, some attacking intent. I don't know if you guys actually saw that as well or remember that. But good on Gray and Palhinha. And Dragic in the second half. Yeah, for sure.
Great played a one-to-one with someone in the second half and ran up the right wing and played the ball in. He just showed such intent and purpose. I mean, I love Archie Gray. I think he's going to be our best player over the next few years. But
I'm not sure he's going to be our best player. It depends who leaves, I think. I mean, we've got some very, very good players at the club. I don't think we've got a terrible first 11. I think we've got a decent first 11 with a smattering of stars. We've got Berrival, who will be an absolute star. We've got Gray, who's going to be an absolute star. Kuti Romero, who's already a star. Mickey van der Ven, who's already a star. But both of those could end up leaving if we continue to struggle. They can put up with 1 year of being further down the league, but then they got Champions League, so that helps. But can they put up with a second year? What if they don't get Europe at all next year? I mean, are they going to be willing to stick around and build up this project again, or are they going to be saying, well, Liverpool need a new central defence. Let's go there together, and we'll get Spurs 200 million or something like that. It could very well happen. Although I believe Liverpool today have actually gone and done the sensible thing and signed a defender, Jeremy Jacquet from Rennes. He's not joining till the summer, but maybe they're going to have less need for another defender now.
Yeah, thanks. What I was going to say was one of the changes, everybody you spoke about really did put their hand up, but it helped having two very high energy players in the midfield. So Sa and Gallagher almost did the work of three men, the two of them, and that naturally freed up Xavi, right? Who still had a fantastic work rate. That's not to talk about it. So with all three of them working so hard, that really gave us some momentum. And with Palhinha and Dragusin coping nicely at the back, some of Palhinha's tackles, they really get the crowd going. They do set the tone. When you see a crunching tackle, it sets the tone. We're up for it. And I thought Sa came out with specific instructions to stay on Cherky. He was noticeably quieter when Sa came on, because here you've got a much better athlete, a decent footballer, a much better athlete on him at every time. He had less space, less time to turn and do his stuff. And I think that was a bit of a changing momentum for us. And then obviously Xavi and Solanke were were fantastic. But I think the tone was set in that midfield. We won a lot of second balls. We won a lot of loose balls. Solanke's goal, I'm sure we're going to come out from it, but it comes.
Oh yeah,
Gallagher making winning possession in a place that he shouldn't have been there, or he shouldn't. He was second favorite. Let's put it that way, and he still won the ball. He still got up there. The players after the game spoke about a very rousing halftime talk. You were talking about like, why can't we do that at the start? That really got them up for it, and a few things came together. All in all, much more promising. I said earlier, we were putting things together in small patches, and then you kind of saw like all of it at once for that 20-minute period, and they couldn't hold us in. It's weird to think that we should have been dead and buried in the first half, and then towards the end of that 20-minute period, we could have been ahead, or should have been ahead. Donnarumma was saving a lot. So, a remarkable turnaround, and hopefully a step forward.
Yes. Half-time talk. There's speculation, however, who actually delivered it. Anyway, let's not go there. It's speculation.
You'll love a bit of speculation.
Gallagher runs around a lot. He did a lot of work. Good lad. He was hacked about 5 times.
Yeah.
He was not given any protection by the ref at all. And I was really seriously thinking, this is the moment he's going to get injured. And he hasn't been injured for years, but this is. And I was actually surprised he got up from a couple of them. He was hacked to pieces. But he carried on and delivered a fantastic ball in. So, hats off to him.
Yeah, Marcel, I don't know if you guys saw it. Did anybody else see the referee almost gesture to take out his card, and then he saw it was Rodri on the yellow and put it away? Did anybody else see that?
Yeah,
that was
you're
ridiculous.
right.
Yeah, that was absolutely ridiculous. And look at the player, and if it's Romero on that side, he's putting away the yellow and pulling out the red. It's ridiculous.
How Rodri managed to stay on the pitch, I do not know, because he pulled Xavi Simons back on about 3 occasions. Each one of those should have been a yellow card. And the occasion you're talking about, that was when he blatantly grabbed hold of Xavi Simons as he went through, and the ref looked like he was going to go to his pocket, but then decided not to. And then the very next thing, Pep took him off. And he's being taken off because he knows he's going to get sent off if he doesn't, because he was on his way to a red card. Absolutely. The ref was Robert Jones, by the way, which isn't a name I know, so I don't, if it had been that Jared bloke, I'd have been pissed off. But Robert Jones, who knows? It's a good Welsh name, Ash.
Don't know him.
Robert Jones.
Do any of us have any ideas what I'd said earlier about why we can turn it on in a second half? I don't think it's Frank's halftime speeches. Is there any thought that, yes, it is the players just take it upon themselves to go, we're just going to unshackle ourselves and play with some joy and some purpose and intent? What do you guys think about that? Why are we doing it? Why can we do that?
We have mentioned it a few times over the last few weeks. Are the players just saying, sod this, let's just get on with it and get on the front foot?
Yeah.
Despite what
that is, yeah. You think that
a lot of the pissing about at the back went out the window in the second half.
Yeah.
First half, we were really just back to normal, weren't we? Lots of horseshoes and pissing about at the back. Second half, got a change. Now, this is the same set of players. In fact, a depleted set of players, if you consider that we only had one recognised centre-back in the whole team, and he's only just come back from injury. But these are professional footballers. They if they can get on the front foot, they can turn it on. They've shown us that. And it's not always the second half, is it? We've had first half where we've been brilliant, and then completely tried to shut up shop in the second half. So I don't think it really has much to do with being inspired by a half-time team talk, really. It's more a question of we're professionals, let's get this job done. And I think, Stuart, you mentioned something about Thomas Frank trying to tell him to slow it down or something, or get back.
Yeah, we were talking about this before the video started. There was a point around the 83rd minute where the players are breaking forward and Thomas Frank is waving them back into position. And I'm like, what is he doing? Because frankly, we'd been playing our best football on the front foot, which is something I've been saying all season long. We play our best football when we actually try and play. So to say to the players, oh, you need to get back and you need to be getting into position and hold the line, it just seems nuts to me because we've been doing so well attacking. And, you know, if there was one side that was going to score a winner, it really seemed like it would be Spurs to me, despite the vast gulf in quality between the two sides. You know, Man City have got excellent, excellent players, you know, an almost unlimited amount of money to spend on players themselves. And, you know, the ability to ignore 115 charges from the FA because it seems like nothing's ever going to happen about that. So, you know, they had the advantages. They've got definitely the better manager. They've got definitely the better players, you know, and they've got probably one of the best, most fearsome forwards in the world football right now. Haaland's just a bit of a machine. He came very close to scoring. I was like, expected that to go in, but you know, in the end, I think Spurs come out with a lot of credit from that game, and I have been thoroughly anti-Frank for a long time, probably since that Chelsea or the Nottingham Forest game. You know, I don't want him in the club. I want him gone, but I'm not going to harp on about it tonight because it would be nuts to, after having just seen our best performance of the season, frankly. 45 minutes of our best performance anyway. Hey, what do you think?
Yeah, I was going to say the only time I saw him ushering players forward was when we had to throw in. Every other time it was like, calm down, go back. So it was just to add on to that. It was baffling that we had all the momentum at that point. Of course, we have to cater for that. They brought on some really high quality players, fresh players.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's going to be hard to sustain that when we don't really have anybody to come on, except maybe it was Tell. But, you know, so they were bound to get a foothold. But when it's this whole thing of missing opportunity, not just in front of goal, but the opportunity to impact the game. We had the opportunity there to really grab it and go for the winner, and he encouraged people to sit back, and that's disappointing.
Trying to save his job, you know, quite frankly, Thomas.
I was watching an online, just a short video, a TikToky thing, of the players leaving the field. And a lot of players are going over and there were handshakes and sort of half hugs and things like that at the end of the game. And I can't remember which player it was now, but what I noticed was there was kind of like a quick hug, pat on the back with Thomas Frank. Then he came over and had a full man hug with somebody else. And I think it was from behind. So I think it might have been Heitinga. It looked like him. Now I'm wondering whether there's something going on there with him, his input. And does it clash with Thomas Frank? You know, I don't know. It's but all this speculation about Heitinga having been brought in for as an interim replacement for him. Maybe there's something in it. Maybe the players are liking what he's doing more than Frank. I don't know. There definitely seems to be a closer relationship with him. With this, I just can't for the life of me remember which player it was now, but.
Heitinga got a lot of credit for, you know, Liverpool's title win last year. So, you know, the players spoke a lot about him and how well he'd been coaching them. And our very own Kudus has been managed by him when he was at Ajax. And he said that, you know, he was instrumental in getting the best out of him when they were together. So, you know, there's a very good chance he's a very, very good coach. Maybe not a good manager, though. Anyone got any thoughts?
Yeah, correct. Well, yeah, maybe he is the best suited for a situation where you have a director of football and a head coach, where he doesn't have to get involved with the managerial stuff.
I certainly think our approach play our transitional play out of defence has got better since he joined. I think the West Ham game was too close to him joining to actually tell. But the Borussia Dortmund game, the Burnley game, we certainly seem to be better getting the ball out of defence than we had been at any point previous in the season. Frankfurt, again, we can't really tell a lot from that Frankfurt game. It was just too easy a game in many aspects. And this one, I mean, it was 45 minutes of a good performance and 45 minutes of a terrible performance. Which one are we going to take the most critical eye on? I think we've got to look at the positives, because we've all seen the negatives and talked about it way too much already this season.
I think there's more variety in our play since he's come in. It's going to take some time with the new coach, but it's not all wing cross anymore. There's a lot through the center now. It's making us less predictable. So yeah, I agree with you in that regard. Hopefully, he's just getting started, and we see wholesale improvements across the board. But it's also, we need to acknowledge that Solanke coming back has made a big difference. The ball sticks to him up front. He leads the press. He wins a lot of 50-50s, a lot of headers, puts defenders under a lot more pressure like none of our other forward line players can do. So I think you're seeing Xavi as well, because somebody is making runs. He's got options on the passes, and that makes him more dangerous. So I think it's a knock-on effect, which makes us not signing anybody even more baffling, because somebody else.
We've signed one player. One player.
That's the kid from Hearts, right?
Yeah, the 18-year-old. Yeah.
It's
James Wilson.
It's crazy. I see that Melia has not gone out on loan because they want to integrate him immediately to the first team. Maybe somebody will surprise us.
I don't think so. I think that's
go on, Marcel.
It's more of the same as I mentioned before we started. That I love that nickname, Vinny Same Ways, because nothing's changed, has it? It's but still. I don't think this new setup is doing itself any favours with the fans. They've probably been less active in the transfer markets than previous windows, and at the time where we needed it the most. I mean, how many injuries are we away from fielding an academy 11 in the Premier League? We're not that far off, surely. I mean, we've got people carrying injuries. Xavi's apparently carrying injury.
Xavi was carrying an injury against Dortmund, certainly.
Sorry?
Xavi was carrying an injury in the game against Dortmund, but he had to play because we were literally down to 12 fit players, 12 fit outfield players.
And what happens when you play when
the Lewis family said they were going to put 100 million into the club.
150.
150 was it? Sorry.
Yeah.
I stand corrected. But we haven't seen any of that yet.
It's probably gone toward building the hotel.
No, this is separate money. The hotel is costed. This was separate money that was promised to go into the transfer budget to bring players in. Which I have to say, if you're talking about a manager who they're not sure he's going to be here next year, why would you give him 150 million pounds to spend, or why would you spend 150 million pounds building a squad to suit him if he's not going to be there next year?
But then the question has to be asked: if you've got 150 million to spend on players and you don't trust the manager, why is he still there?
Maybe they don't like Xavi Hernandez, who seems to be the only viable alternative right now. Summer there's going to be a lot of managers available. Glasner, the Bournemouth guy whose name currently escapes me, Iraola. There's a good chance that Xabi Alonso will still be available. Xavi Hernandez will still be available. Poch will be available in the summer because his contract with the USA will be up. So there will be a lot of choice in the summer, and I think they're basically just expecting Frank to get us the 12 points we need to get safe, and see what he can do in the Champions League. Maybe we'll finish 17th and win the Champions League. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Hey, what do you think?
Yeah. So it's that, I agree with you there. And I think it's also that our squad's quite bloated with lots of players on long contracts.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
complicating some issues. If we're going to sign, I think we need to sign players that will improve the first team, and including those players when they come back, and if they come back, and how good they are. So I think that's not making an excuse for them, but I think it might have been in the considerations. It's these little things we hope on. You hope that's the case, and then they splash in the new year. It's not just the 150. I think it's another 84 million from the Champions League. By the time we're done, 84 million pounds.
A lot of that will be going on bonuses and things like that too, and travel expenses and things. So, yeah, there's 84 million in money earned from the Champions League, but I think we've got fairly high bonuses at Spurs. We don't pay a good wage, but we pay good bonuses.
Yeah, whatever it is, I hope they put it out in the new year. Maybe they're looking to change the narrative. If you start the new year and new manager and you're committing money, you might attract some better players as well. So I don't know. At the moment, though, you have to look at it and think that the squad, it's a hell of a gamble. The squad is depleted. There's a lot of games coming up, and it's quite a gamble if that's what they went for. You would think they would have added at least 1-2 players to assist them, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, we signed Conor Gallagher, who I think is an upgrade on Bentancur, and I genuinely think if Bentancur hadn't got injured, we wouldn't have signed Gallagher. So I think he was brought in to replace him, and I think that is an upgrade. I don't think we would have seen Bentancur close the ball down, chase it, and then whip in across like we saw from Gallagher yesterday. And I think now is as good a time as any. Did we just see another Puskas winner yesterday? I mean, we've got potentially 3 Puskas candidates from this season alone. It was a very, very impressive goal. Debatable on how much he meant it. I think he just went to try and get some contact on it. A lot of people are saying, oh, he deliberately placed his foot at that angle so that it would lift over Donnarumma. I think he just swung a boot at it and got lucky. But my word, it was good. So good.
He was there and he improvised.
Connor did a superb job in, dispossessing and getting the ball back, but the cross wasn't great. It was behind him. So, I guess when they're fooling around in training and whatever, they probably try those things in training. They must, obviously. Otherwise, how could you pull it off? But considering it wasn't a great cross, the effort was fantastic. But it was just superb. I watched it many times.
I think we all have. It's one of those highlights of the season we will remember for a very long time.
But you're
season
right.
of mediocrity, but this one bright shining light.
You said 3, so you're including Richie's season opener, Van de Ven's goal, and this one? Is that the 3?
No, the Richie goal against Arsenal, the Van de Ven goal, and this one.
What about Richie's goal against Burnley in the first game? That bicycle kick, that was pretty tremendous.
That was pretty good, but it was no shot from just past the halfway line, was it?
Yeah,
I thought that was a better goal. Oh yeah,
Cootie's header.
Considering
fantastic.
it's been an awful, awful season. We've had some amazing goals. Richie's got 3 of them. How many has Palhinha been involved in?
Yeah,
Palhinha's got 2 quality goals himself. Solanke. This is a question I want to ask. Has Dominic Solanke come back better than he left? Because I don't remember him being in the penalty box that much. He was dropping deep and getting involved in the play, but he wasn't great up front. He wasn't razor sharp. He seems to have come back and just be better.
In most cases, when they don't play, they get better. In our minds, whoever's not playing get better. But it is noticeable that maybe he's just fresher. He's played a lot of games before that, and
True.
Yeah, maybe he's just fresher. So
hope he hurt himself, because he said he rolled his ankle. Let's hope that God forbid.
Yeah, I saw that and I worried, because we really can't be having him out, because Richie's out. Kolo Muani had run himself into the ground. Kolo Muani, I really don't know what to do with this guy. I think he's a very good player, but he's a player that thrives on through balls, and we don't play through balls. Xavi started to do a little bit of through balls.
Yes.
He played 5, I think, yesterday, which is the highest number of through balls we've had in a game since the start of the season, which works very well for Kolo Muani. But if he's not going to get a run up front and he's stuck out on the wing all the time, how often is he going to get a chance to really shine? But yeah, if something happens to Solanke, we're in a lot of trouble. Certainly,
You're right, we've
depending
still
on.
got Dane Scarlett, haven't we? Oh shit, no.
No, he's gone on loan to
I know.
Hibs.
I was being
Yeah.
sarcastic.
Hey, one guy who from the academy, and he's had 2 appearances now, and I thought has put a shift in his Byfield.
Yeah.
You know, as a
He's forced to play up front.
yeah. Yeah, he's a big unit, and it just goes to show you put him in, and the guys, he's been a credit for his cameo appearances. Good for him,
He did start as a forward when he joined the academy. He was a
really?
forward. Yeah. So it's
Wow.
just turning the clock back to when he was 7. Yeah.
I understand the decision though. That the back 4 was solid. You wouldn't want to change that. He needed a body somewhere.
The back 4 of Radu Dragic and Palhinha. Sorry, it just blows my mind that we managed to put in such a good defensive performance in that second half. Really,
there was
absolutely
no
crazy.
need to change it. I think it was
Oh
okay.
no.
Yeah, so that was fine. Udogie had a good game. I just, his injury record's not great, and he's another one. If we get injured, we have no fullbacks at the moment. But he had a very good game. I think he pushed up forward and really created an extra man for us. So that helped. And with Gray doing the same on the other side, it really took us forward. And I think that was really something that spurred us on in that period. They were really bombing up there and creating havoc.
I think Udogie was flagging towards the end, and I did feel it might have been an idea to take him off and bring Sousa on, just to see if he could do anything. Marcel, you've been waiting to come in for a bit. What have you got to say?
Yeah, just talked about the Scorpion goal, but what about the first goal that Man City fans are absolutely belting down about? Now, for me, there was no way that was a foul. In fact, had it not gone in, I would have said we should have a penalty.
Yeah.
Because he put his foot straight in front of him. No attempt to go for the ball. It was an attempted trip, if anything. And apart from that, if you look at it closely, Solanke got his toe to the ball, just through the legs.
Yep.
And so, what are they whinging about?
Well, Solanke did get credited the goal. Originally, it was given as an own goal by Gay, but I think they've agreed with you, and he did manage to get a toe on it. I felt it was an interesting way of scoring a goal, effectively kicking the guy's foot onto the ball, which was fun. I could see why it would have been ruled out, because he was kicking through a player effectively. But Gay did put his foot right in front of him at the same time that his leg was already moving forward.
Yeah,
but that's what defenders do. That's what defenders do.
That to me, if had it not gone in, should have been a penalty.
No, I think it would have been a foul the other way, because Gay had his leg.
It should have been a penalty.
You can see this. I think you can argue it many different ways. I think as part of the defenders union, I'll look at that and go, well, the defender should have had a foul for being kicked in the back of the leg there. But I'm not going to complain, because it went in our way. When it went to VAR, I was absolutely certain they were going to chalk it off for some reason, and amazingly they managed to agree with us that it was worthwhile. So yeah, thank you.
So at what point then does sticking your leg out in front of a player as he's about to shoot or anything else without really going for the ball become a foul against the person sticking his leg out? I mean,
the rule, I believe, is that you have to be within touching or controlling distance of the ball, and he certainly was that. So he was stepping across, which is fine, and stepping across is a form of defending. But yeah, it's one of those. Again, we could be talking about it for a very long time, but I'm just glad the decision went with us.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, he did get his toe to it if you look at it closely. So
Yeah. I said he got given the goal. It got changed from an own goal to a Solanke goal. So anybody who had him in fantasy football will be very happy right now. Because two quality finishes. One with the
How many
assistance
goals
of
does he
getting
have now since he returned? Is it 4 and 4? I think he has
Yeah.
4 and 4, I think, yeah.
and 4 games unbeaten, right?
4 games unbeaten, which
Yeah.
but drawing 2 of those, or one of those? No, one, just a draw in the Burnley game, wasn't it? No, 2
No,
of those. Which this obviously this City game. Yeah, 2 draws in the league and 2 wins in the Champions League.
Yes.
Yeah. See,
Baby
this City game, it feels like a win. I don't know why it feels like a win.
Yes.
Baby steps, baby steps.
Baby
Yeah,
steps. Yeah.
baby steps. Let's see what happens in the next game before we get too excited.
Oh yeah, the next game. The next game, at least, it's a rerun of the Europa League final last season. We just got to beat Manchester United, a slightly resurgent Man United, a Man United that's actually playing good football. I watched some of the Manchester United Fulham game, and they're playing some nice stuff right now. They really are, and it's going to be tough. That is going to be a tough match because they're on the up, and we are still kind of. Well, without a win in the league in 7 or 8. So
Well, look, I didn't see the game, but you must have seen it, Stu. The shackles are off at Man U. Same players, the shackles are off, and they're playing, more, proactively and getting results. Good for them.
they're playing somewhat simpler football. It's less tactically nuanced and it's more, right, we move the ball up with speed and pace and we play triangles to get out of defence. And the thing, I mean, I've watched a few, not a lot of Manchester United games, but I do watch a lot of football, way too much probably. And earlier in the season, under Amarim, you'd see them try and find players with safe, sensible passes. This one, I watched about 15 minutes. There were 6 or 7 players playing the ball with the outside of their foot, and I was like, you wouldn't have seen that under Amarim. Players actually trying to do something a bit different, and it paid off a lot of the time. So, they were 2-0 up when I stopped watching and went to find something else to do. And somehow Fulham managed to get it back to 2-2, and I missed all the fun and excitement for the last minute Manchester United winner. But they're doing pretty well at the moment, and they're going to be a tough test for us.
and we need to put a second half Man City performance for the whole game against them. Just shackles off, as you said. Take our own shackles off and get on with it.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to be playing front foot football. I've said it many, many times. We are better when we actually try to attack and try to make things happen. But
Always happen.
Genuinely think Frank is going to be looking at this and say, how do I stop Manchester United from playing football? And then we'll try and make something work after that. Because that's the way he is. He's the most conservative manager we've had since Mourinho.
Well, let's hope that Heitinga maybe he'll put his argument forward and get us on the front foot.
Maybe Heitinga's brought some special cookies over from Amsterdam, and that's what he's giving Thomas Frank at half-time to try and get a little bit more life out of him. Maybe that's what's happening.
Yeah, bit of mushroom soup.
Some special tea. Here, this will give you a bit of a kick. Not served in an Arsenal cup. Definitely not served in an Arsenal cup. All right, okay, guys, I'm going to go around the table very quickly. I'm just going to ask you for one thing that you want to see going forward for the rest of the season. What is the one thing you want to see from Tottenham Hotspur? Marcel, we're going to go with you, then we'll go A, then we'll go Austin, and finish off with Ash. Marcel, what do you want to see?
Yeah, front foot football. That's all I want to see. It doesn't look like we're going to be signing anything spectacular this window. We've got the horrendous injury list, and we've shown that with the players that are left, we can play front foot football and players out of position, and also take it to probably the best squad in the Premier League. And we did it. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be carrying on more of that. Will it happen?
Okay.
Who knows?
We shall see. We shall see. A, what's your hope for the rest of the season? What's the one thing you want to see?
I want to see more of that 20-minute spell in the second half. That's what I want to see. Simply more of that. more of intensity, going at the opposition and backing ourselves.
All right, Ash and Austin don't seem to be around at the moment. They've all gone off for a cup of coffee or something. Just perk themselves up. So I will answer, and then we'll close out the show. My answer, what I want to see is I want us to avoid any PR gaffes until the end of the season. Let's not make any jokes in press conferences, Thomas Frank. Let's not be silly, and let's not pick up a cup or just blindly accept a cup from someone without checking what's fucking written on it. The only cup I want to see you blindly accepting from someone is one that's got UEFA Champions League engraved on it. That's the only thing. Until then, look at the fucking cup before you drink from it, please. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. We will be back after the Manchester United game. There you go.
All I can say is a funny old game.
Yeah. We will be back after the Manchester United game. We will be back on Sunday, I believe. And until then, as always, say it with me, everybody. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on.
Gather round, lads, it's time for a cheer. We've got opinions to share, raise your pot, never fear. From the stands to the pub, we're ready to spit. In the world of football, it's the CADS chat shit. Oh, he was in form just last week, but now he's a flop, so unique. Spurs gonna win it, that's what we decree. Never mind facts, it's our fantasy. Our strikers are legends, we'll score a whole bunch. Forget all the stats, we'll just take the punch. With every wild take, we raise up our glass, while pundits just chuckle, ignore them alas. The CADS chat shit. To the left and the right, we're taking a hit, so you know it's true. Hear the banter ignite, raise your voice loud, shout it out tonight. The CADS chat shit, we'll sing it again with a smile and a grin. Oh, here's to the boys, let's make it a trend. With a wink and a nudge, let the fun never end. Last week we claimed it'll be 5-0 for sure. Now we're debating if we'll score at the door. Did you see that last miss? What a fiery debate. As we pull up our chairs and we narrow our fates. Hot takes flying high, we're the kings of the pub. While the lads on the pitch just need a good rub. From the top of the table or right back to the ground, you'll hear us all chatting that familiar sound. The CADS chat shit. To the left and the right, we're taking a hit, so you know it's true. Hear the banter ignite, raise your voice loud, shout it out tonight. The CADS chat shit, we'll sing it again with a smile and a grin. Oh, here's to the boys, let's make it a trend. With a wink and a nudge, let the fun never end.